Discover how an incredible 12-year-old boy transformed a young millionaire woman's life forever in the heart of a suburban neighborhood where every garden bloomed with vibrant colors and laughter echoed in the streets. 12-year-old Samuel Anderson stood tall, a beacon of hope. With dirt-smudged hands and a beaming smile, he helped his single mother in their struggling landscaping business. Days melted into weeks filled with challenges tackling weeds in the sun, arranging flowers, or cutting grass, but Samuel didn't care. He thrived on commitment and family. His dreams reached beyond their backyard. He envisioned a future that warmed hearts and brought people together. One sunny Saturday morning, the neighborhood held its annual charity event in the park. Excitement crackled in the air. Booths lined the grass. Laughter rang like cheerful wind chimes, and colorful banners adorned the trees like confetti. Samuel pedaled eagerly, helping his mom arrange their stall with handmade flower pots and vibrant plants. He beamed at neighbors as they complimented their hard work. Then came the unexpected. Olivia Turner, a wealthy young tech entrepreneur, glided by, lost behind her designer sunglasses. She had everything: a mansion, the latest gadgets, and an influencer status. But beneath her glamorous exterior, Olivia felt heavy with loneliness. As she passed Samuel's stall, his enthusiasm pulled her in. "Hey there," she said, her voice soft but distant. "Hi, want to try some of my mom's plants?" They'll brighten up any space, Samuel replied, his eyes sparkling. Their conversation ignited a spark. An unforeseen connection bloomed like a sunflower in a field of daisies. Samuel's stories of unity in their community captivated Olivia. He shared tales of neighbors supporting one another, pulling together during storms, and celebrating birthdays with block parties. Her life, filled with wealth, felt empty compared to such rich connections. The warmth of his family-focused outlook wrapped around her like a comforting blanket. Before we continue, I need to let you know about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system, and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, hit that bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can drop a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now let's continue. But shadows loomed. Soon after their friendship blossomed, a scandal erupted. Whispers swirled like leaves in the wind, questioning Olivia's integrity, rattling her carefully constructed world. She grew introspective, battling the harsh truth of social inequality and realizing how privilege had shielded her from reality. Samuel remained steadfast, determined to support her. He taught her the value of character over cash. Together, they navigated judgment with unwavering courage, exposing the prejudices hidden beneath the surface of their community. He became her anchor in turbulent waters, showing her that redemption was possible. As their bond deepened, the threat of scandal loomed larger, ensuring an emotional storm ahead. Would Samuel's unyielding belief in her ability to rise give Olivia the strength needed to face her past? In a world that often valued wealth over worth, could they spark the change they both yearned for? As she pondered her worth, Samuel's resilience shone ever brighter. Would this unlikely friendship transform them both, proving that true success is measured not by material possessions, but by the connections we forge? The breeze whispered secrets of hope and possibility, leaving only questions lingering in the air. What would happen next? The weeks that followed felt like a whirlwind, a blend of tensions and triumphs. Olivia's scandal rocked her world, and the whispers grew louder, echoing through her social circles like distant thunder. Each day, she faced the stares of judgment, the fragile smiles that masked disbelief. But there was Samuel, his unwavering spirit lighting up the heavy fog that loomed over her life. One afternoon, as the golden sun dipped below the treetops, painting the sky in shades of pink and orange, Samuel approached Olivia with a plan. He was determined to not just support her, but to help her reshape the narrative that had been constructed around her. They settled on the edge of a park bench, overlooking the vibrant community they both cherished. "I have an idea," Samuel exclaimed, bouncing slightly in his seat. "What if we host a community day? We can invite everyone, talk about the things we care about, and show them what really matters." Olivia looked at him, a mix of surprise and hope shimmering in her eyes. You mean, turn the spotlight back to the community? He nodded enthusiastically. Yes, we can bring everyone together. We can showcase local talent, create activities, and share stories. Let them see that we're more than what the headlines say. With each idea Samuel shared, Olivia felt the weight on her chest lighten. His passion was infectious, reminding her that there was magic in bringing people together. They drew up plans, sketching ideas for games, food stalls, and community booths. Samuel even suggested that they include a Moments of Kindness wall where people could pin their stories of how someone in the neighborhood had touched their lives. Days passed in a flurry of excitement as they promoted the event, reaching out to neighbors and local businesses. Samuel watched in awe as Olivia transformed her initial trepidation, replaced by enthusiasm. She was no longer just the rich tech mogul. She was Olivia, a part of their community. The day of the event arrived, bursting with anticipation. The park was alive with laughter and the mingling scents of homemade pies and fresh flowers. Samuel helped his mother set up their flower booth, and every time Olivia met someone new, her confidence soared. She shared her story not as a defense, but as an invitation to connect. In the middle of it all, Samuel spotted a group of children gathered around a local storyteller. He recognized that same spark of hope and laughter he felt when he first met Olivia. Suddenly, it hit him. This was what he had envisioned all along. This event was not only about clearing Olivia's name. It was about forging connections, bridging gaps in their community. As the sun began to set, a gentle stillness fell upon the park. Olivia stood beside Samuel, looking out at the joyful scene. "I didn't think I could feel this happy again," she admitted, her voice trembling slightly. Samuel smiled. "You did it. You reconnected with everyone. It's all about what we create together." In that moment, they both found a sense of belonging and strength they never anticipated. But as the crowds began to disperse, Samuel's phone buzzed in his pocket. He glanced at it, unease pooling in his stomach. The message was from a local news channel, eager for an interview that could stir up the past. "Olivia," he started, heart racing. "They want to talk to you. Do you think you're ready?" Her eyes narrowed slightly, reflections of uncertainty twisting her excitement. Could facing the media give her closure, or would it stir the scandal again? As Olivia contemplated her next move, the weight of the choice hung heavy in the air. Would she embrace the public eye once more, or would she take a step back, risking the connection they had built? The sky darkened with night, but their journey was far from over. Would they navigate this new challenge together, or would they be pulled apart by the shadows of the past? Olivia felt the weight of the world settle on her shoulders as she looked into Samuel's eyes. The flickering lights of the park seemed dimmer now, overshadowed by the uncertainty swirling in her mind. "I don't know, Samuel," she finally whispered. "What if this just brings everything back out into the open? What if it doesn't help me at all?" Samuel's expression softened. He reached for her hand, grounding her in the moment. "You've built something amazing today. You can't let fear hold you back. Maybe the interview could help tell people who you really are, a person, not a headline. It might even give you the chance to show your vulnerability." His words were like a lifeline. She took a deep breath, trying to quell the anxiety that bubbled within her. The sense of belonging she felt today was intoxicating, but could she really put herself back in the spotlight so soon? The idea of sharing her pain was daunting. Yet, a small part of her remembered the joy she had found in the community. Taking this step could be a way to reclaim her power. I need time to think," she said finally, pulling her hand back slightly, giving herself space to breathe. Samuel nodded, understanding but still hopeful. "Whatever you decide, I'm here for you. Let us process it together." They sat in silence for a moment, the noise of the park fading into a comforting background hum. Kids played nearby, laughter mingling with the faint music from the small stage. But Olivia's mind was elsewhere, caught in a tug-of-war. The night sky grew darker, yet her heart churned with warmth, a feeling she hadn't experienced in a long time. "I just want to be seen as more than the mess I've been," she finally admitted. "I want to be the person I used to be, someone who can support and inspire." "Then maybe sharing your truth is part of that," Samuel said gently. "You know, some people might still misunderstand you, but there'll always be those who see your heart." As he spoke, she recalled how everyone at the community event had opened up, how they had shared their stories and smiles. Maybe it was time for her to do the same. She needed to reclaim her narrative and allow others to learn from her journey. Okay, she said, a wave of resolve washing over her. Let us do it. I'll talk to them. Samuel's eyes sparkled with pride. You're so brave, Olivia. I know this will bring up emotions, but showing your vulnerability is powerful. She felt a flicker of hope ignite within her. I just hope people can see past the headlines. As they began to pack up for the night, Olivia felt lighter. She took a moment to admire the park, the laughter still ringing in her ears, hopeful futures hanging in the air. This night marked a beginning for her, filled with uncertainties, yes, but also brimming with possibilities. Back at Samuel's house, his mom prepared snacks, her laughter filling the kitchen. It was a simple moment, but Olivia savored it. She was starting to feel like she belonged no longer just a bystander in her life. Hours passed, and, exhausted but inspired, she curled up on the couch, her laptop open beside her. She pulled up her email and began drafting a response to the news channel. But just as she was about to hit send, another message flashed on her phone. This one was completely different, a picture of her taken last week on a bad day, a reminder of her lowest moment. The caption beneath it left her breathless. The scandal isn't over yet. Her heart dropped as dread washed over her. Who took this? Why now? Samuel glanced over, and his smile faltered. What's wrong? She put her phone down, a knot forming in her stomach. I think the past is about to bite back, and it's coming for me, hard. In that moment, the reality of her decision settled over her, swirling like leaves in an autumn wind. Would she be able to withstand this storm? As shadows danced outside, Olivia was left staring at the flickering screen, the weight of impending chaos pressing down hard on her. How would she face the truth waiting just around the corner? Olivia sat frozen on the couch, staring at her phone. The message felt like a punch in the gut, driving home the reality she'd been trying to escape. She could almost see her past rising like a specter, threatening to overshadow everything she hoped to achieve. That image, frozen in time, whispered all the doubts that had haunted her since it all began. What is it? Samuel pressed softly, concern etched on his face. She forced herself to breathe, tears pricking her eyes. This picture, it's from the worst day of my life. And now, someone's using it against me again. Samuel leaned in closer. You don't have to face this alone, Olivia. We can figure this out together. The thought of facing this storm with him felt grounding, yet layers of panic clung tight. She recalled all the judgment, the whispers, and the abrupt change in how people viewed her. No one ever saw the real Olivia. They only saw the headlines and the messy, broken pieces. I wanted to rise above it all, she murmured, but each time I reach for the sky, the weight drags me back down. Samuel's hand on her shoulder was warm, but it didn't erase the cold grip of fear tightening around her heart. What if this is your chance? You could control your narrative instead of letting it control you. She pondered his words, the echo of Samuel's unwavering support fueling her fire. But what if they don't care? What if they only want the gossip? They will care. Some will, he replied firmly. There will always be people looking for a story to tear apart. But there will also be others who are ready to listen, to understand. As the darkness outside deepened, Olivia felt a flicker of something within her, a small, stubborn hope. Maybe she could reclaim her story, even amidst the chaos. Maybe this was the moment she needed to wrestle back her control. Can you help me? I need to respond, but this time, I want to tell my truth. All of it. The tremor in her voice surprised her. Samuel's eyes lit up with determination. Yes. How do you want to do this? We'll craft a message that is real, raw, and honest. No one can take that away from you. With his encouragement, she felt the protective layers around her heart peel back, exposing the fragile yet fierce spirit she thought was long gone. Together, they began to brainstorm, creating an outline that would serve as her shield against the incoming storm, and unearthing the depth of her pain so others might see her humanity. But just as she felt momentum building, another notification blinked on her screen, a second image, this time of her obscured but still recognizable. It was even worse, the caption mocking her resolve. More truth below the surface. Are you ready? Shock cascaded through her. Who was doing this? Was it merely an old enemy looking to drag her down? Or was it something worse? Samuel, I can't do this. This isn't just a headline. It's my life. Maybe it's a chance, he said, urgency tinged with caution. What if it leads to the change you've been chasing? As panic swelled in her chest again, the inevitable question loomed above her. Could she withstand this? Could she fight back against the shadows of her past and emerge into the light? Determined but fearful, Olivia took a deep breath, ready to dive headfirst into her truth. All she had to do was leap. Would it lead to freedom or a deeper fall? As she hesitated, a part of her wished desperately for clarity. This wasn't just about the headlines anymore. It was about the heart of who she truly was. In that moment of uncertainty, she felt the storm brewing anew, reminding her that the fight was only just beginning. What awaited her in the depths of her own story? How far was she willing to go to pull herself from its grasp? Olivia's hands trembled as she scrolled through the messages. The newer image burned brighter than the first, igniting a fear she thought had dimmed. What if I'm just a punchline? She whispered, more to herself than to Samuel. You're not a punchline, he assured her, his voice steady. You're a person with a story worth telling. They might think they know you, but they don't. They only see fragments. But what if I can't find the courage to face this? She shot back, frustration bubbling just under the surface. Samuel shifted closer, his presence steadying. You've already faced so much, Olivia. This isn't about being perfect. It's about being real. And that is powerful. She searched his face, feeling the warmth of conviction radiate from him. Maybe he was right. Maybe vulnerability was strength, her shield in a world quick to judge. Yet, the thought of baring her soul left her feeling exposed, like a tightrope walker without a net. What if I share everything and they still don't care? What if this doesn't change anything? Her voice cracked, revealing the fear lurking just beneath her composed exterior. Some may not care, he admitted, but the right ones will. And maybe, just maybe, it'll help someone else who feels like they're drowning. His words sat heavy, echoing in her heart. Olivia had always wanted to be someone who inspired others. Maybe this was the start she needed to embrace that role. The screen flashed again. Another message. She almost didn't want to look, but the pull was undeniable. This time it read, ready to reveal the truth? Beside it sat a countdown: 3 days. Panic surged through her veins. 3 days? What do I even say? Let us take it one step at a time, Samuel encouraged. How about a small video? Just you, speaking from the heart. No scripts. Just raw and honest. Olivia closed her eyes. She imagined the whole world watching her, waiting for her stumble, her misstep. What if I choke? What if I fall apart? The world isn't perfect, he replied softly. But your truth is. People will see that. As she considered his proposal, something began to shift within her. The storm outside loomed heavy with rain, yet inside, a flicker of courage began to take shape. Okay, maybe a video is the way to go. Great. We can practice together, he smiled, and for the first time that night, Olivia felt the weight on her chest lighten. They spent the next hour mapping out her thoughts, rehearsing phrases that felt genuine. With each passing moment, the heaviness of fear transformed into determination. She envisioned sitting in front of the camera, sharing not just her story, but the real Olivia, the one who loved deeply, learned from mistakes, and fought to rise despite the storms. Remember, it's okay to stumble, Samuel reminded her. You'll take us on this journey, and people will feel every bit of it. But just as she felt ready to embrace this new mission, Olivia felt another dread creep back in. This could unravel everything she had built. What if I can't handle the backlash? The tremor in her voice surfaced once more. You're stronger than you know, Samuel said softly, his eyes holding hers. This fight is part of your journey. You have the power to reshape how they see you. Trust yourself. That flicker of hope began to ignite. For the first time in a long while, Olivia felt a pulse of bravery. She envisioned standing tall, not as the victim of her past, but as the architect of her future. But in the midst of that rising hope, the weight of the countdown felt heavy and looming. As the clock ticked down, she wondered, could she truly redefine not just how the world saw her, but how she saw herself? Would she embrace the spotlight, or cower in the shadows once more? The storm, both outside and inside her, had only just begun. With the first drops of rain echoing against the window, she took a deep breath and prepared for the fight that lay ahead. But would she be able to confront the realities of her truth before time ran out? Thunder rumbled in the distance, a low growl of the storm outside mirroring the turmoil within Olivia. She stood in front of the window, rain drumming against the glass, a chaotic melody that both frightened and invigorated her. The countdown nagged at her, each second taunting her with questions that swirled in her mind like leaves in the wind. "What if I can't?" she muttered, biting her lip as doubt crept back in. Samuel had left the room to grab a snack, but the silence felt thick, almost suffocating. She wondered if he could sense her inner struggle, or if he was as lost in his own thoughts as she was. She turned back to the laptop, its screen glowing with the harsh brightness of the messages she had received. They felt like a dark portal into a world she both craved and feared. Her fingers hovered over the keyboard as if they wanted to type out a response, a declaration of her intentions, but the words tangled up in her throat. With a shaky breath, she clicked on the screen to rewatch a video she had made weeks ago. It was one of her early attempts at creating content, filled with nervous energy but lacking authenticity. Watching herself then brought back that familiar feeling of inadequacy. Who was she trying to fool? But as the video played, she caught a glimpse of something, an honest laugh, a fleeting moment of joy. Maybe there was more to her than just the polished facade she often felt obligated to present. Maybe that raw energy, unrefined but real, was the key. Suddenly, Samuel appeared behind her, holding a bowl of popcorn. "What are you watching?" he asked, his voice laced with curiosity. She paused the video and faced him. "Just an old video of mine. It's embarrassing," she admitted, instantly regretting her vulnerability. "Embarrassing? No way," he laughed, settling down beside her. "You were just being yourself. That's what people connect with. But look at me. I'm so awkward." She wrinkled her nose at her own reflection on the screen, the uncertainty etched in her features. "Awkward is relatable." Samuel's eyes sparkled with enthusiasm. "Do you know how many people feel that way but don't say it? Your imperfections are your charm." The warmth of his encouragement seeped into her. "You think so?" she asked shyly. "Absolutely. You've got a real gift, Olivia. You just have to embrace it." She chewed on his words, the truth flowing in them, inviting her to explore deeper. What if I don't just tell my story? What if I invite others to share theirs too?" Samuel's expression brightened like the sun breaking through storm clouds. "That's brilliant. Create a space for vulnerability instead of just a spotlight for yourself. It becomes a community, a movement, a collective healing." Her heart raced as the idea sparked possibilities in her mind. She could be more than just a voice. She could be a beacon for others who felt unseen. "But what if it's messy? What if I mess up?" she said, wrestling with trepidation. "Messy is human," he replied, his voice firm but gentle. "And humans connect through messiness. Show them that it's okay to be a little rough around the edges. That's where the magic happens." As the rain intensified, Olivia's pulse quickened. The storm echoed the chaos of her thoughts, but amid it all, she felt a strange sense of calm settle in the storm of uncertainty. "If I do this, it's real. No filter," she murmured, her voice gaining strength. "The real you," he affirmed with a nod. "No more hiding. It's time to start this journey." With her heart swelling with courage and hope, she opened the video app. Time was running out, but now it felt less like a countdown to doom and more like an invitation to freedom. Olivia took a deep breath, her fingers dancing over the keyboard. But before she could commit to her decision, another message popped up. "Time's almost up. What's your real story, Olivia?" Her stomach twisted again. The question loomed large, demanding an answer. Suddenly, something clicked. This was it. This was her moment. Could she pull together the threads of her life into something meaningful? Could she be that beacon for others? As she stared at that blinking cursor, poised to begin anew, Olivia realized the most daunting part of her journey was about to start. And she was ready to dive in, but what awaited her when she surfaced? Olivia's fingers hovered over the keys, her heart throbbing with anticipation. The cursor blinked at her insistently, a tiny lighthouse in the stormy sea of her uncertainty. She closed her eyes, grounding herself. She thought of all the people out there, feeling alone, just as she once did. She opened her eyes, squaring her shoulders. "Okay, let us do this," she whispered to herself. The words flowed like rain, and for the first time, they poured with a purpose. "Hi, I'm Olivia," she typed, each sentence feeling like stepping onto unfamiliar ground. "I used to think I had to be perfect to be worthy of being heard. But I learned that my flaws are just as important, maybe more so. They make me real. The thoughts came rushing in. She shared her insecurities, her struggles with anxiety, and how the pressure to fit in once made her feel suffocated. The more she wrote, the lighter her heart felt, as if she was shedding the weight of expectations. I want this space to be a haven for all of us who've ever felt inadequate. Suddenly, her phone buzzed a reminder the video submission deadline was near. Panic surged, but Olivia took a deep breath. No turning back now. She was in the thick of it. She shared her heart, hoping to invite others to do the same. Just then, Samuel leaned in closer, his curiosity wrapped in intrigue. "What are you writing?" he asked, half leaning on the arm of the couch. "I'm inviting people to share their stories, to be messy together. Like you said, connect through human experiences." She glanced at him, searching his face for approval. His smile was bright, and Olivia felt a knot in her stomach loosen. "That's beautiful. People need to feel like they're not alone." As the rain fell harder, she resumed her typing, fingers racing over the keys. What she thought would take only a few minutes became an outpouring frenzy, her passion swelling with each word. "We all have our own battles. But together, we can find strength in our stories. Let us start a movement," she concluded, her heart pounding. Finishing the message, she paused, staring at the screen. It felt like she was staring into the abyss. What would they think? Would they accept her, flaws and all? But then Samuel's words echoed in her mind. "Your imperfections are your charm." "I'm sending it," she hesitated, before clicking submit. The submission confirmed. It felt as if a dam had broken inside her, an unexpected wave of joy washing over her. "Did you send it?" Samuel asked, excitement bursting out of him. "I did. I really did." Olivia beamed, shocked at her own enthusiasm. "Now the world gets to hear your voice," he exclaimed, jumping up. The joy in his eyes pulled her out of her momentary disbelief. But as her joy swelled, another message popped up in her notifications, catching her breath in her throat. "Your video is next for submission. 1 minute to go." Panic washed over her again. "What do I say? What do I say?" She darted her gaze back to Samuel, witness to her unraveling. "Be yourself. Share your heart, Olivia," he encouraged. She nodded, swallowing hard. Panic had its grip on her, but so did courage. "Okay, here goes nothing." With trembling hands, Olivia opened the camera. This was her moment to be the beacon she wanted to be. As the red light blinked, she cleared her throat, opened her mouth, and began to speak. But just then, an unexpected sound crashed through the ambience of the moment. There was a knock at the door, loud and urgent. It cut through the warmth she had been building, sending a chill down her spine. Her heart raced once more. Who could that be? Samuel exchanged a glance with her, worry etched on his face. "Should I go check?" he asked tentatively, eyeing her trembling hands. "No, I'll do it." As Olivia stood up, uncertainty washed over her again. What could this interruption mean? What was waiting for her on the other side of that door? Each step felt heavy, and she wondered if the universe had sent this distraction at just the wrong moment. But maybe, just maybe, it was an invitation to discover something she never expected. Feeling that weight settle in her stomach, she grasped the doorknob and turned it slowly. What awaited her on the other side would change everything. As Olivia opened the door, a gust of wind pushed it ajar, and the chill in the air wrapped around her as if it were a warning. She squinted against the sudden brightness of the hallway light, feeling a rush of uncertainty. There, at the door, stood a boy no older than 12, a scruffy backpack slung over one shoulder and a wide, hopeful grin stretched across his freckled face. "Hi, I'm Noah. Is your name Olivia?" he chirped, eyes shining like emeralds. Yes, that's me," she replied, confused but curious. "What can I do for you?" "I read your post." His energy was infectious. "I saw you needed help spreading the word about your movement." "I want to help." Olivia blinked, disbelief mixing with wonder. "You saw my post?" "Yeah. My sister follows you," he explained eagerly. "She told me you were talking about sharing our stories. I think that's cool. I want to help kids at my school who feel lonely. We can spread the message together." A warmth spread through Olivia's chest. It felt as if the sunny glow of hope had pushed aside the chill that accompanied her anxiety. The nervousness she had just felt was a distant whisper now, replaced by something far more meaningful. "You want to help with what exactly?" she asked, feeling her curiosity grow. "I can make a video too," he exclaimed, jumping up slightly. "I've been thinking about it for weeks. I just didn't know how to start. But now I do. I want to tell everyone that it's okay to be different. Your post made me feel brave. Really? That's amazing. The sincerity in his eyes knocked the wind out of her. She had spent all this time wrestling with her fears, and here was this young boy, ready to dive in head first. You mean that? Totally. I just know kids will want to share their stuff. We'll make it fun. I'll even do funny impressions. He did a quick imitation of a cartoon character, causing Olivia to burst into laughter. And how do you think we should do it? She asked, leaning in, wanting to foster this spark of enthusiasm. Noah thought for a moment, scratching his head. Maybe we can make a challenge? Like, post one thing that makes you insecure and how you're learning to love it. Then, tag 3 friends. It'll go viral for sure. The idea hit Olivia like a bolt of lightning. That's brilliant, Noah, she said, excitement bubbling in her chest. We could create a whole community around this. Joy radiated off Noah as he nodded eagerly. Exactly. And I can get my school involved. I can tell the teacher, and we can have a whole assembly about it. It was all happening so fast, and yet it felt so right. A sense of purpose enveloped her, and Olivia realized this wasn't just about her anymore. They could uplift others, people who felt just like she used to, trapped in self-doubt and loneliness. As they chatted animatedly, laughter spilling over, Samuel joined them at the door. His eyes widened with surprise. What is going on? This is Noah. He is going to help us make the movement even bigger. Olivia grinned. No way. That's awesome, Samuel said, joining in their excitement. They spent the next few minutes brainstorming ideas, all 3 of them buzzing with creativity. Each suggestion Noah made filled Olivia with energy, illuminating the path ahead. But as their plans blossomed, a small but sharp sense of unease flickered in the back of Olivia's mind. What if she wasn't ready for this? What if her own insecurities caught up with her? Noah's enthusiasm was infectious, but would it be enough to carry her through the rough patches that could lie ahead? As she watched him animatedly describe potential ideas, tension prickled at her conscience. Just then, her phone pinged again, interrupting her whirlwind of thoughts. It was another reminder about the video submission. Her heart pounded as she looked at the screen. What if I mess up? She whispered, more to herself than to anyone else. Olivia Noah's eyes met hers with sincerity. You won. You've already shared your heart. Just be you. His confidence was a balm to her fears, but she wasn't sure she could let go completely. I hope you're right. Just then they heard the distant sound of laughter echoing in the hallway. This is just the beginning, Samuel said softly. But as Olivia stood on the brink of that moment, new plans forming and old doubts resurfacing, a question lingered in the air. Could she truly embrace the voice she was beginning to discover? With Noah's excited chatter buzzing around her, Olivia felt the weight of her next steps pressed down like a heavy fog. Was she ready to step out into the open, or would those old fears hold her back once more? The next day dawned bright and clear, yet Olivia felt a heavy cloud of worry hovering overhead. She lay in bed, staring at the ceiling, listening to the chirping of birds outside her window. The plans with Noah and Samuel filled her with hope, but her hesitation loomed like a thunderstorm waiting to break. What if everyone laughed? What if no one resonated with the challenge? The what-ifs spiraled in her mind, creating a whirlwind of self-doubt. She sighed, rolling over and glancing at her phone. A notification blinked at her, an invitation to a gathering of young influencers in her area. The voice inside her piped up once more, reminding her how unworthy she felt in the presence of such driven, accomplished peers. Maybe I should just bail on everything, she mumbled to herself. But as she contemplated retreating back into the comfort of her room, her phone buzzed with a message from Noah, filled with cheer and excitement. Are you pumped for today? I can't wait to get started. A smile tugged at her lips. Noah's unabashed enthusiasm was contagious. She quickly typed back, yes, let us do this. As she prepared herself, Olivia's mind danced between nervousness and determination. She picked out a light blue shirt, something that made her feel fresh and brave. She glanced in the mirror, practicing a smile that felt authentic but wavered under the weight of her anxiety. When they met at the park later, the sun poured down warmth, bringing life to the green space. Noah bounced on his heels, his eyes sparkling with excitement. So, I thought we could start with sharing our stories first. He squealed, eyes fixed on a small group of kids laughing nearby. Stories? Olivia echoed, curious and a little nervous. Yeah, we can just ask them what makes them feel alone and how they're learning to love themselves. It's perfect. His voice held a confidence Olivia lacked at that moment. Okay, she thought, willing herself to jump into this challenge. The three of them approached the group, and Noah's friendly smile opened doors as he introduced himself. Their laughter and camaraderie quickly made Olivia feel at ease. With every giggle and story shared, something shifted inside her, a glimmer of connection overflowing from shared experiences. Standing in the circle, each person took turns speaking. Voices trembled with vulnerability, and Olivia found herself nodding along, her heart swelling with empathy. She felt her own voice itching to break free beneath her anxiety. Then, a girl named Mia looked Olivia directly in the eye. What about you? Do you have a story? All attention turned to her. Olivia's throat tightened as everyone leaned in closer, expectant. The weight of their curiosity pressed on her like a tidal wave. Would they understand? Yeah, she stammered, heart racing. I guess I used to feel really alone too. I thought no one cared, but finding my voice helped. I learned it's okay to be different. A transformative silence filled the air, surprising even her. Wow, Mia said, a smile breaking through her previous uncertainty. That's really inspiring. A wave of relief washed over Olivia. The surge of understanding brightened the atmosphere like the sun piercing through clouds. Just then, Noah nudged her with the biggest grin, as if he'd known all along she had it in her. As the gathering continued, laughter echoed and stories blossomed, a beautiful tapestry of experiences. Olivia realized how powerful connection could be. Each shy voice added to the fabric of their endeavor, and she felt lighter with every shared story. Noah, this is amazing, she whispered during a pause in the conversation. See, you just gotta be you, he replied with a grin. But just as hope filled her, Olivia felt another pang of doubt creep back in. What if this moment was just a high point, and everything would come crashing down again? Little did she know, the next test of her courage was looming just around the corner, one that would challenge everything she had begun to learn about herself. As the laughter rang in her ears and the sunlight enveloped her, a question swirled inside her. Could she hold on to this newfound courage when faced with the fears lurking in the shadows? The days rolled on, and the joy from the park event began to ripple through Olivia's life like a vibrant tide. The videos from Noah's challenge caught fire, spreading a wave of hope and vulnerability through social media. Children shared their insecurities and stories, one after another, reminding them all that they weren't alone in their struggles. Olivia felt a warmth growing in her heart, proud of the strength that flowed between them. But not everything was perfect. Just as she embraced this new journey, the shadows of doubt crept back in. Olivia received another notification, a trending article dissecting her past, highlighting the scandal once more. The headline screamed, "Fallen tech guru still searching for redemption." Her heart sank. Panic shot through her like a jolt of electricity. Would all their hard work be undone? Olivia? Noah's voice cut through the haze of her thoughts, concern etched on his face. Are you okay? She swallowed hard. I saw the article, Noah. It's like a storm rolling back in. The boy's brows knitted together. But look at everything we've built together. You can't let them tear that down. You don't understand. The articles always come back. It's like I have a shadow that never leaves. She clutched her phone tightly, feeling it burn in her palm. Then show them the light. His enthusiasm seemed unwavering. What if we host another gathering? Bigger. Show everyone how we are growing beyond headlines. Let us flood the world with kindness and stories. Olivia blinked, her mind racing. You really think that would work? Yes, he exclaimed. Let us make it an adventure. People want to feel that they aren't alone too. You've already inspired so many, this could be a movement. The spark of his excitement flickered in her heart. Together with Samuel, they began planning the larger event over days. Olivia felt herself shifting from fear to purpose as new ideas blossomed. The words of those children from the park echoed within her. You just gotta be you. They broke through her apprehension, and she felt momentum building. As they finalized their plans, the community day drew near. Bright banners and cheerful decorations filled the park space. Olivia stood nervously at a small booth before people began arriving, her heart racing like a drum in anticipation. But deep down, She felt the warmth of belonging. The community was there, ready to support one another, ready to share. Noah bounced up beside her, filled with energy. Ready? Yeah, she said, feigning confidence as she took a deep breath. Let us do this, he grinned. As the gathering began, faces flowed in, smiles bright, and stories weaving through the air. Olivia shared her journey with a trembling voice, opening up live in front of them all. I am not defined by mistakes. I am defined by my willingness to rise, to learn, and to connect. She watched as heads nodded and eyes lit up, seeing the reactions bring her voice to life in vibrant colors. As she spoke, the panic melted into resolve. Every whisper of doubt dissipated, revealing layers of hope that coated the crowd. Noah stepped up next, ready to share his piece. It's okay to be different. Your quirks make you special. The kids cheered, echoing his message. Everyone clapped as they connected, each realizing that the beauty of life lay in vulnerability. But just then, as the joy blossomed around them, Olivia spotted an approaching figure, an older woman holding a camera. Her heart dropped as she recognized her. It was a reporter from the earlier scandal. Olivia, can we get a word about your transformation? How do you feel being back in the spotlight? For a fleeting moment, she felt as though the ground had shifted beneath her feet. The crumbling of her confidence threatened to return, but this time, she was ready. Can I say something? Olivia smiled, locking eyes with the woman as the crowd quieted. I'm no longer afraid of your lens. My story is about joy, community, and connection. I want to inspire others to embrace their paths, no more running from the past. Gasps of surprise echoed as the crowd erupted into applause. You have a choice too, she continued, her voice steady. You can choose to define stories by the scars or celebrate the growth. I choose growth. Every voice echoed her sentiment, weaving their stories into an intricate tapestry of resilience. In that moment, Olivia realized her fears were merely stepping stones to reach a dazzling view of a united community. The warmth of the sun enveloped her as laughter filled the air, and she couldn't help but bask in it. Hand in hand with Noah and Samuel, they had turned potential chaos into a movement, a shift toward positive connections, proving once and for all that no matter the past, they shaped their future together. And quietly, Olivia let the press wash away, knowing this was her rebirth, a girl finally seen for her heart. As the event came to a close, laughter poured out around them as she held on to her newfound power, knowing every sunrise only brought more light to follow. This was just the beginning of their journey. The storms would come again, but together they would flourish. Now, it's your turn to impact this community. You need to subscribe now to not miss the next exclusive stories that inspire. Leave a like right now to feed the algorithm and help share these powerful narratives. Comment below your reactions and feelings about this transformative journey and share this video with at least 5 friends who need to see this empowerment. Don't wait, not even one more second. Show your support for this amazing tribe. Let us keep sharing these beautiful stories together.